Hopefully the email alerts will go out. Gotta fix the screen. It's a little goofy right now. There's what I'm looking for. No, too much. Let's fix that real quick here. Gotta fix the OBS screen. It's a little off. Dang it. Stream is starting tonight, guys. Hopefully you come in and take a look at the chat tonight. Hopefully it'll be pretty good stuff. As you saw by the thumbnail, when it goes out, let's take a look at it, make sure it's okay. Starting a couple minutes early. Excuse me. Again, still trying to get over my cold. I always have issues with colds. They always linger for a while. Thumbnail looks good. No issues there. We're doing an impromptu stream tonight. We're talking about New York Comic Con 2019 and the aftermath of that and Triple Force Friday. That's what the stream is all about tonight. And hopefully you'll come along with me in this chat. I don't know how long I'm going to be in this talking about this particular stream. We'll see how long it is. I'm going to be talking about the stuff I picked up on my New York Comic Con 2019 and the Triple Force Friday toy hunt. I showcased that video yesterday. Today is the 7th. So yesterday would be the 6th. The hunt was on over the weekend. It was on a Fridays when all the hunting took place. The video went up yesterday on the Sunday. That's when it went up. So hopefully you guys will come along with me for this stream. We're going to be talking about what I picked up at the top of the hour at 9 p.m. So just hopefully people come into the chat tonight. Hopefully you would have gotten my email alerts. If you guys are not getting email alerts, make sure you turn on the bell notification when you click the subscribe button. That will be advised of all the new content coming out, as well as any impromptu streams. As I said before, these are kind of off the cusp. I don't really put streams out on a schedule any longer. I just kind of shoot them whenever I want to, just because it didn't really benefit me to have them on a continuous basis. So I do them every once in a while, usually off of big events, big news, things like that is when I do my stream. So we'll give it a minute or two to everybody come into the stream. Hopefully you guys join me tonight talking about New York Comic Con, your guys' pickups, as well as what I picked up at Triple Force Friday. I'd love to hear what you guys picked up as well. Again, pardon me with my coughing. I'm still getting over my cold. It is lingering for a couple weeks now. It always lingers when I get over a sickness. It just doesn't go away. So we'll be talking about stuff in a second. I'm going to talk about the stuff I picked up. I got everything here that I picked up at the for the shared exclusives. And some kind of misnomers, or people are kind of maybe, I won't say giving out false information, but information that may not be 100% accurate, at least from what I have saw on the toy hunt and out in the internet community, what I currently see. So I'm going to let you guys know what I know. Is it 100% factual? I cannot state that, but I can tell you what I currently see and what I see happen around. You might see my kitty over here again running around, so she's just being a little nudge. That's my little girl. Drink from tonight, guys. We're going to finish up the last case of the Cherry 7-Up, and then we're going to be done with those going into next week. So we're going to be talking about, again, New York Comic Con 2019 and Triple Force Friday. That's all about tonight's stream. What I picked up at my local locations, GameStop, Targets, and some online retailers. Hey, Phil Pop, thanks for coming into the chat tonight. So we're talking about New York Comic Con 2019 pickups, and we're going to talk about Triple Force Friday. If you have anything that you picked up, shout out in the comment section of the chat, please. Top out in the chat section. It's an open forum. You don't have to do anything special. You can just chat whenever you want to. So, I'm coming up at 9 o'clock. And we'll start the stream off here. Again, this is sort of an open forum. I do not go off a script. If you're new to my chats or my streams, I just shoot, off the cusp rather. And there's no script I follow. I just ramble on. Very, very open format here, guys. So let's talk about New York Comic Con 2019 and Triple Force Friday. What was it all about? Again, this was the big convention that took place last week in New York, and they also linked it to what's called Triple Force Friday, which is all the releases of the new Star Wars memorabilia. From what I've heard, they didn't release everything. Again, this is speculation. This is not entirely fact. I heard they only released about 30% of the Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker based product. There's still a ton of product left. Everything is kind of behind closed doors still, and the way they released it was in a certain sort of fashion because they didn't want to give spoilers away. That was the idea of releasing it in this sort of staged, segmented release schedule from what we had been seeing. They didn't want to spoil anything. That was the idea behind why they released certain characters and not others. So let's talk about what I picked up. So, Toy Hunt. Stopped off at a couple locations. First and foremost, there was an item I'm not going to be showcasing here because I had to order it online. And that is the Dwight with Dwight bobblehead, which was an Amazon exclusive. Talked about it on a Toy Hunt. If you've not yet seen the Toy Hunt, take a look at it after you watch this stream. Or if you watch it on a video on demand, take a look at that first, then come back to the stream, because that will give you kind of spoilers of what I picked up on a Toy Hunt. The item that I was looking for again was Dwight with a Dwight bobblehead. It was an office pop, and it was an Amazon exclusive. The problem is people were speculating when that item was going to be released. It was supposed to be, looking at the schedule that came out for last, I believe it was for San Diego Comic-Con's release. They're judging San Diego Comic-Con's released and trying to figure out when the items would release, what time they would release. And people were speculating Thursdays for the Amazon stuff, and that was not true. About 6 p.m. people were speculating it didn't drop. People were speculating 9 p.m. it didn't drop. People were speculating midnight. Again, it didn't drop. They had links listed, and some of the links were dead, meaning you would click the link, it would bring you to their page, and there would be nothing displayed. Around 1 o'clock in the morning, I was up that late waiting for this item to drop. It was not there. Excuse me. It did not show up. I waited about 1:30. I said, you know what, I'm just going to go to bed now. Woke up around 6-ish. I clicked the link again, and the item said availability is unknown. Excuse me, it said availability was not available. People were speculating it already sold out, meaning it dropped earlier that night, and I checked a couple of the reputable Facebook groups, and they stated that the item never dropped. So I don't know what time that day it released. So I just went online to eBay. I bought it there. I had a $10 coupon. I got the item for about $20 US. I had it shipped with free shipping. I should be getting that shortly. That's going to be a review by itself. That's going to be completely by itself. Has nothing to do with any other review. It's going to be a standalone review for the Office Pops. I've talked about them before. I've done reviews about them before. Very cool items. If you don't have any of the Office Pops, if you watch the TV show, there's little Easter eggs hidden on each Office Pop. Take a look at my Office video reviews if you want to know about that Easter egg. I talk about it there. So first place I went to was Target. Hey, Jay Funko, thanks for coming into the chat tonight. First item I got picked up was at Target. It was a Target pickup. I went there early. I shot the beginning of the video. Let me take a step back before I go there. I'm going to talk Funko stuff first, and I'll talk a little bit about the Toy Hunt. It was my second stop. My first stop was at a Target. I'll go to the Target stuff in a second. Actually, no, I'll do it this way. I think it's better this way. I'll do Funko, and then I'll talk Black Series. I didn't pick up a whole lot of Funko stuff this particular Toy Hunt, and it was kind of surprising compared to other San Diego Comic-Cons. I've been collecting Funko for close to 5 years now, and it's kind of surprising that the stuff for San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con this year. New York Comic-Con, at least to me, as far as Funko goes, from the Funko perspective, wasn't as big for me compared to last year. There was a couple items I picked up. The second location I went to, not the first, but the second, I went to FYE, and I got this cool 2-pack. This is the Jay and Silent Bob Bluntman and Chronic 2-pack. Again, you see the really cool sticker. Fall Convention 2019. It has the Statue of Liberty Funko sticker right there. Looks very, very cool. Love the way it looks. Again, this is the alter ego for Jay and Silent Bob. The reason why I think this dropped was to hype the new Jay and Silent Bob movie coming out in a couple weeks, as far as the recording of this stream. It's I think they call it Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back Redux, something along those lines. So it's a remake of their Jay and Silent Bob movie they did back in the 90s. I'm going to do a quick unboxing for this so you can see what these guys look like. The packaging looks nice. This is, of course, the alter ego of Jay and Silent Bob. If you're not familiar with them, that's part of the View Askew universe. It's part of their ongoing gag with this idea of these two guys. So, of course, let's look at Chronic first, which is the Jay character. This is him right here. He looks good. Articulation has full range. It gets a little stiff here because of the way this hair comes to the back. So it does get hindered a little bit. You just have to kind of break it in a little bit. You should be fine there. But it does look good. Not a bobblehead. Very happy about that. He does have the mask. Red and white outfit. He does have a... It looks like... I'll move my glasses up so I can see what I'm looking at here. It looks like probably it's a joint being smoked. That's what it looks like right here on the logo. But it might not come in very well there. There it comes in right there. Perfect. Of course, then we have the Silent Bob, the Kevin Smith character. That's how he normally looked as the Blunt Man in his trench coat and beard. He has his Batman hat on backwards. Articulation, spins, no issues. A little bit caught up on the shoulders, but that's about it. Nice paint, what I'm seeing here. He does have these kind of a gold, I guess, highlights on his boots, like clasps on his boots. That's a nice little attention to detail. Does look very, very cool. Very happy with this figure, with these two figures. Now, price point for these guys was very good for me. Normally, the 2-packs that you see going at a New York Comic Con or a San Diego Comic Con is usually $30. FYE was selling these for $25 US, which is kind of surprising because I mentioned on the stream and all the information I gathered, looking at the price points for these 2-packs, they were $30. So mine was not $30. Mine was in fact $25. I had a coupon. I saved a bit of cash on this one. I think I had a $7 gift card, so I used it on this one. So it cost me a little under $20 for this 2-pack. Looks very, very good. Does like Blunt Man on the side, Chronic on that side, and it says Pop Movies at the top. It's not even listed as a sort of item in a line. It's just a one-off, and it just says Pop Movies 2-pack. So very cool item. Very happy to pick it up for the collection. So then, I'm doing it out of sequence now, but my first stop was at Target. That was my second stop was FYE. Drink for tonight, guys. We're doing some Cherry 7-Up. So then I stopped at Target. And my original intention to Target was picking up really a couple of items. I wanted to pick up the carbonized graphite version of the Mandalorian. That was my real intent to get as far as Black Series go, and maybe the Rey figure for Black Series. And the Cletus, I think it's, give me his name, it's Cal Kestis is what his name is. Cal Kestis, which is the main protagonist for the new Fallen Order Jedi game that's coming out. Cal Kestis is voice-overed and motion-capped, I believe, by the same guy who did the Joker-esque character for the Gotham TV show. So he's the main good guy. And I said, you know what, that's a very cool idea. Me and my girl like watching Gotham. Excuse me, I have an itch. And we were like, you know what, look, I'm going to pick that character up. He looks very, very cool. So I wanted really, technically, three Black Series figures. That was about it. That was my idea going into this toy hunt for the Triple Force Friday stuff. So when I got into the Target, there was nothing on the floor. I went to the area that we were looking around for a pallet, and there was no pallet. Nothing was on the floor. There was no setup. There was no. It was not laid out. There was no nothing. We looked at the planograms. We looked. There was a spot that was kind of flagged off of where the stuff would be, but it was empty. So we eventually waited about 5-10 minutes. We were looking around. I was there with like maybe 4 or 5 other people, which I didn't shoot any of that portion on camera. Excuse me. And then I said, you know what? Let me look around, and a couple people started asking questions, and eventually we found somebody, and they said there is stuff in the back. So they started wheeling out pallets of stuff, and there was a good chunk of product. There was vintage stuff, Black Series stuff, there was the new Galaxy Adventures stuff, and there was one case of the carbonized graphite exclusive figures. Now, there's 3 tiers, before I go any further, there's 3 tiers of the Black Series figures that were released. There's the normal Black Series figures, which would be like this Rey figure right here, which is the new Rey and Dio. I believe it's using the new face scan technology. It looks like Daisy Ridley. It looks pretty good. That is the standard Black Series figure. Black packaging, red trim that we've seen here on the side of the figure here. I was looking over here, but there's red trim right here in the lettering. So we've seen that one. Then they have another tier of figures that came out. Every figure that came out in those 8 figures that were released, they came out what was called the first edition packaging, which is this guy right here, which we'll talk about more about him in a second. This is first edition because you can see where it says first edition right there by the verbiage. First edition. So that would be the next tier of figures. There was all 8 figures came out in that packaging. Now, there's no difference between the first edition as far as the figure goes, the accessories, and the articulation. There's no difference in the paint job. It's just the packaging. There's no other difference, no additional accessory, nothing along those lines. And then, of course, we have the the Grand Resistance, the big figure that everybody's looking for is the carbonized figures, otherwise known as carbonized graphite. This is one of them right here. This is the second sister. And what made these important was that as these guys here were all done as all there was 8 figures in that wave of figures that were released, only 4 figures were released in this carbonized graphite material look. That was the Sith Trooper, which is this one here, which was an Amazon exclusive. The packaging is all red and the figure is chrome. It's sort of like a chrome coloring. And the packaging is sort of this bright red. So you have a bright red figure with a bright red package, same accessories. The accessories are chrome, sort of chrome red as well. Then you had this one, Second Sister, which was a GameStop exclusive. Then you had one which was Walmart, which was the Snow Trooper with the cloak, which was the Elite Snow Trooper. And then you had the one that everybody was really looking for, the Mandalorian figure, which was this one right here, carbonized. This copper. They only had one case. Let me repeat this. One case, which included a total of 6 figures. That's it. They didn't get any more cases in of this figure. There was enough to give out. I think there was about 6 people there who were originally looking for this. We each got a figure. That was it. There was no more to go around. There was no more cases in the back. That was it for this. And this is what everyone, I think, was really looking for. See how shiny it is. This is what everybody was looking for. Now, if you ask, how does he compare up to the normal Mandalorian one? I'm glad you asked that question, because here's how they look side by side. Now, if you notice here, if I pull back a little bit here, you'll see a distinct difference between the 2 figures. This one here, the carbonized one, is very, very shiny. Not just because it's coming off shiny on the packaging, the figure is shiny as well because it has sort of a coppery paint job in its accents. Where you saw brown in this figure, it's sort of a coppery color on this one. That was the intent. That's why these ones here, this guy is so hard to track down. Now, I have heard people stating, at least from my personal opinion, incorrectly, that they perceive that this figure here, the first edition ones, are going to be more valuable than these ones. I strongly, strongly disagree with that statement. And the reason why is because there was more figures that were available as far as numbers of figures, meaning 8 figures available as opposed to 4 figures available. And you can only get them technically in 3 retail stores and 1 online seller, and that's Amazon. So you can't just go to a store across the street and try to get that red Sith Trooper, that carbonized one. Only Amazon sells that figure. That's the whole gimmick. That's why it's very, very difficult to get that particular figure. Now, as far as value, if you purchase these carbonized figures now, let's say you find them in the wild, should you keep them or should you sell them, offload them? My personal opinion, I would keep them in your collection at least for a couple months. Let everybody who has them want to flip them, let them flip them. My point is, you have the new Rise of the Skywalker movie coming up in another couple months. You have the Mandalorian TV show coming out shortly. I think it's coming in 2020. I could be wrong on the release date when the Mandalorian TV show is coming around. That would be the point when I think you should sell these figures. Now, let me just go over the guys who I picked up and where I got them from. So as I was mentioning some of the Black Series figures, let me show you the Funko stuff first. So if you saw the Toy Hunt video, I wasn't tracking this particular pop down. I didn't go in there saying I gotta get this pop because it's very, very pricey. I thought it looked okay, and that's the Futura Boba Fett. If you see the clear case, I didn't add that case. This came with the figure. I have not yet cracked this figure out of the case. So this is $18 US. Apologies for the glare. And it's done by a graffiti artist named Futura. So he's done, excuse me, this figure here, and he's going to be doing a couple other ones. Now, should you buy this figure? I heard this particular Boba Fett right here sold out online almost immediately. And I think it was limited to 1,500 pieces US. But I could be wrong on the piece count because we don't have any designation here of how many figures that were available for this figure. You do see it's a Target-only exclusive. I always like Boba Fett figures. Now, if you're asking, should you buy this one or should you hold? You might want to hold. And the reason why I say that is the Future also came out with a 10-inch Boba Fett and 2 paint variants. One was all black with a red kind of tribal tattoo, and it was all red with a black tribal tattoo. Those guys I've been seeing going online for between $60 and $80 US. Those are the ones you should invest in if you're looking to make a profit off of selling it on the retail on the secondary market. That would be where I would go to if you're wanting to go down that road. If you wanted to flip these products, that's what I would do. But it looks okay. Again, not my greatest cup of tea. I saw it. I literally didn't even see it. They were cracking the boxes for these open, and the clerk just handed me one. I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy it then. And like I said, I didn't go in there intentionally to say, you know what, I want this pop. It wasn't my intent to go in there to buy this guy. Literally, it was given to me by a clerk. I said, you know what, let me buy it. What I went in there to look for, though, was the Ray Pop. I said, you know what, let me go and see if I can get this Ray Pop. It looks pretty good. This would be her kind of when she has her last bit of Jedi training. I mentioned that in the toy hunting video. Let's crack into this one real quick here. I'm probably going to be doing an evolution of Rey in the pop video, like a pop video, like I did an evolution of Boba Fett. I'll do it very similar to this one. Now, if it's following suit like all the other new pops, this should not be detachable, and it's not. It is locked to the base. You can't remove it unless you break this glue. I do like the hair. It is kind of braided in this ponytail across her back, right here. I do like that. Kind of flowing robes. You can even see the little pistol that she has attached to her hip right here. That looks really nice. Now, as I mentioned before, the big issue I have with Pops is the janky bobblehead. If you're not familiar why Pops have bobbleheads like this, it's because of licensing that Funko does with both Star Wars and Marvel to bypass the ability of putting out vinyl figures. They have to do bobbleheads to avoid it of having any litigation or any problems because they don't have the master license when it comes to vinyl figures in this scale. Now, does the head move? No. This is one of the janky ones where I've seen bobbleheads, for Star Wars Pops before, where the head will physically move. This head will not move. It's unfortunate. I could probably mess with the spring to allow it to move, but I've seen Pops that have come out, let's say, for example, the Mace Windu Pop and the Commander Cody Pop, specifically those two. The head will move like a normal Funko, where I can take the head and move it around without any issues with the spring. This one I cannot do it, unfortunately. It is a shame. I don't know why they always have that issue. It always happens. So yeah, I was looking at some of the packaging here. Let's get her back in the box. She does not come with any type of figure stand because she is attached to the base. So there's no need to worry about her falling off a figure stand because she is in fact attached to the bottom of the base. She's not going to go anywhere if you were curious. So yeah, that is a thing. And again, it is what it is. Not a big fan of it. I know why they do it. I just don't like it. That's just my personal opinion. Moving on, the last pop I had, I didn't showcase it in the toy hunt portion of the video. I just showed it on the conclusion when I pulled the items. I was showcasing the items off like I'm doing now. It was the Mandalorian pop from the new Mandalorian TV show number 326. Now, there's going to be a couple different variants of this guy here in different poses. Probably there'll be a Target exclusive eventually down the line. Maybe FYE might have something like that. Not entirely sure. These guys are all available in the wave. Looks okay. I'm probably going to watch the show maybe on, let's say, a third-party streaming app. I'm probably not going to spend the money for the Disney streaming service because I'm not a big fan of Disney in that respect. So, not my cup of tea. So let's take a look at the Mandalorian. He does have the Mandalorian hunt symbol on the inside packaging, right there. You can see the Mandalorian symbol right there, which looks nice. He looks good. He has that really cool blasting rifle. He has gear on him, very reminiscent to, let's say, Boba Fett. He has some nice wash across the top right here, so it looks dirty and worn, like weathering. That's what it looks like. There is some verbiage on the bottom of the stand. He will not detach. He has a special head. Actually, it felt like it was. It gave me a click. It gave me a click, and then it stopped. So I probably have to come in here and mess with the head now, because you heard it click. Which I like that, but I probably have to go here and mess with the head now, because now he's turning a little bit cockeyed. So I've got to come in here and mess with this spring and move it, which I just did a little bit, and this is what I didn't want to do to get it back in its normal position. So I didn't want to do that. I thought it might have been like the Obi-Wan or the, not Obi-Wan, the the Mace Windu or the Commander Cody, because those ones the head will move. I do like the attention right here to this sort of detail. That looks cool. So it looks like kind of the helmet breaks apart right there, or some type of latch. It looks like there's latches on the side here and here. That's what it kind of looks like. He has a nice little cloak. But all in all, he looks good. I do like the way the Mandalorian looks. Hey, OMG, Tom, thanks for coming into the stream tonight. We're talking pickups for New York Comic Con 2019 and the Triple Force Friday stuff, as we're talking about right now. We're just getting over the Funko stuff right now. Then we're talking about Black Series in a second. So let's talk Black Series now. As mentioned at kind of the beginning of the stream, the guy I was really looking forward to picking up, what I was really hunting for, was only this guy. The carbonized graphite Mandalorian was the one I was hunting for. There was one case, as I mentioned before, in Target. Am I going to do a review of him? I'm not. Not this version. I will do a review of this version, probably down the road somewhere. This guy here. Now, it is the identical figure. If your first question is, Rook, what makes them different besides the packaging? Is there anything else different? Lettering is red on the Black Series one here. It's white over here. You have the cool carbonized graphite symbol right there. Talking about it right there, the sticker, or the part of the packaging, rather. But the only real difference between the two, besides the packaging, is that there is a paint variant. The normal white box, the first edition packaging, there is no difference aside from the packaging of anything with the figure. It's like if you took the Sith Trooper next to a normal Black Series Sith Trooper, there would be no different. Paint would be the same, weaponry would be the same, accessories, and articulation would be the same. There's no additional bonus beside the packaging. So take that what you will, but that's what it is. But again, there was only one of these guys per case, one of these boxes per store, meaning there was 6 of the figures, one case, that was it. Price point for him, I didn't talk about pricing. These guys were $20. I believe this guy and this guy were each $25. So they're selling these guys for more money, because I bought where's she at? The Second Sister Inquisitor at at GameStop, and this one right here at GameStop, and both these guys cost me $50. So that would lead me to believe they're each $25. First edition and the graphite, the carbonized, are both $25. That's why if you look online for value, this is one thing I wanted to talk about, OMG, thanks for coming into the stream tonight, is where do I place these as far as value? I talked about it a second ago. If you look at straight value, who's worth more money, it would be these guys. It'd be the carbonized, because this full wave, those 8 figures done as first edition, there was only 4 figures done this way. And you can only get it at 4 different stores. Now, you'll be surprised if you're looking to get these guys. Where you should look is a place you really wouldn't think to look. Try your local Disney stores. Check your local mall if you have a Disney store. They probably did or will be carrying these white box packaging. Why? I don't know. I heard 2 retailers are selling these. Again, this could be off. I could be off running, off left field somewhere. I heard at Walmart and Disney stores were selling the white packaging. GameStop had this. So that leads me to believe that GameStop is able to get these as well. Not just those 2 stores. Because I got this guy, you saw it on the Toy Hunt, at my local GameStop. So very happy about that. So at that Target, what else did I get? I picked up at one Target, I got these 2 guys. At the other Target, I got... At my Target, when I went there first, I got this one and this one. These are the 2 figures that I got at the first Target. I got the new Rey figure and that carbonized Mandalorian. Those are the 2 I got here. Then I went to another Target, picked up 2 more figures. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, was Cal Kestis, who's the new Jedi protagonist from the new Jedi Fallen Order game, right here. Also, the Second Sister Inquisitor comes from I believe from the game as well. Yep, right there. She comes from the game as well. So she's going to be in the game, I believe, hunting down him. I believe she's the big bad from it. I believe. I could be wrong. It's very difficult to tell. If you look at the Black Series, I'll use these 2 specifically so you can see what I'm talking about. This right here, of course, is the Second Sister. It's the carbonized. It's very difficult to see this particular figure, how much difference it is next to a normal Black Series figure, which is this one right here. Very, very similar. You see the big symbol right here saying the carbonized graphite material. It's very hard to notice the difference as far as packaging, at least from the front. From the rear of it, huge difference. See how shiny it is? You'll see that right there. And on the sides, a little bit different too. You see it's much redder. Here's a deeper red compared to this red here. And even on the side where the names are, you'll see that as well. Apologies for the glare. So it's very close on that one. So at that location, I got this one, I got the Cal Kestis, and I got the standard Mandalorian. Because I figured what I'm probably going to wind up doing is reviewing this guy here and keeping the Carbonite one mint on card. Excuse me again. Because I want to eventually probably flip that figure. I'm thinking about flipping it down the line. Only because I know now everyone's going to offload them, and there's not going to be a whole rush. There's a whole rush right now to get the figure in that paint variant, and I'm not going to go down that road. I don't want to kind of shortchange myself, where I know I could probably get a better profit for that figure. So these were number 93 and 94, at least for these two guys here. Then I went to last but not least, or next to last but not least, were again these two here at GameStop: the white packaging Sith Trooper and the second sister Inquisitor. This one, of course, I've mentioned is kind of, people were thinking that one's more money, more valuable. I think it's more these, the carbonized ones, are what people are really looking for. I even heard people calling them the chase figure. I really wouldn't call it a chase figure. They're lower quantity, yes, but not chase, because nothing on this packaging screams chase at all. Now, people might be designating it as a chase or a hard-to-get item. Maybe that's what they're calling it. But as far as labeling it chase, it just has lower quantity and harder to find figures. And specific retail stores and one online, which is Amazon, is selling the carbonized. So if you're looking for that, go after those particular pieces. I would probably look online now, especially when everyone's trying to offload them quickly. If you want that figure bad enough, definitely head over there. And last but not least is one other figure. Excuse me. I talked about it on the toy hunt, and I mentioned, because I found out a day before the toy hunt, that this figure even came out. I didn't even know about this figure. I talked about it before. For some weird reason, just like for some reason I gravitate to collecting Funko Batman Pops, when I'm not going out specifically looking for them. They just kind of find their way into my collection. Same thing happens with the Clone Troopers for the Black Series. This guy dropped, no one knew about it. And that's the Clone Commander Fox. He's a red and white paint variant. He looks very similar to, let's say, Commander Cody. Has been retooled. Comes with a blaster rifle and two pistols. He does have the Commander Rex sheaths on the side, and similar to, let's say, Commander Wolf as well. But I'm happy to get this guy. Very cool figure. But it looks like it's a retool of Commander Cody. Looks really, really nice. I talked about it also on the toy hunt that I'm eventually going to put it together into some type of diorama. I want to build a diorama. I'm going to showcase a video build sequence of me taking videos of this and showing you how I'm going to put together this diorama. I know in my head how I want to build it. I'm going to map everything out before I even shoot any bit of video. I want to have it all mapped out of how I want to put this together. Because my idea is to have, let's say, I don't even know the scale yet, how big it's going to be. But it's going to be a kind of a acrylic case when all the clone troopers are going to be defending, let's say, a bunker. And that's the idea I'm going to have. I'm going to build it that way. You're going to have, like, all the clone commanders, and you're going to have Clone Commander Obi-Wan there, because he's a clone commander, technically. So he's going to be there as well. So it'll be the only real Jedi, probably, in that sort of presentation. So that's going to be an ongoing project I'm going to put together. I know in my head how I'm going to build it, but I don't know how. There's some execution that I have to work on to put it together. This is something that's going to be way down the line. It's not going to be something I'm going to do tomorrow, but that's the idea. What did you guys pick up for New York Comic Con 2019 and Triple Force Friday? Let me know in the chat, please. If we don't have anything else to talk about, we'll end the stream shortly after that. Those are all my pickups for New York Comic Con and Triple Force Friday. As I mentioned, there was a lot more Black Series stuff than it was Funko. And I didn't go out into that toy hunt specifically trying to do that. I knew I only had like maybe 2 or 3 Funko pieces I was getting, and maybe 2 or 3 Black Series figures. I had a total 7 Black Series figures, and technically 4 Funko figures. Technically 5 counting the Dwight from The Office, which I'm waiting on still. So let me know what you guys thought of New York Comic Con 2019. What did you guys pick up? Did you pick up anything at all? I know that some people were scrambling like I was. Some other people I know of flew up to New York Comic Con, and they did their stuff up there. So very very cool. Eventually, it's on my bucket list to do a big con. I want to do. I would love to do San Diego Comic Con. That is on my bucket list. Before I die, I want to go to San Diego Comic Con and do video there. I absolutely want to shoot video on the show floor to do one of my con videos. I would love to do that. I'd love to get like a press pass to do interviews with uh, content creators there, with people who are sellers, like Kotobukiya, Funko, Hasbro, Mattel, um, people who do the Transformers GI Joe. That's what I would love to do. You picked up Slim and Guy from the new Star Wars game. Can't remember his name. Slim. Oh, the Slim Guy. You're talking about. Are you talking this guy? Cal Kestis? He's kind of slim, I guess you would say. That's the only new Star Wars game that I know of coming out is the new Fallen Jedi Order game here. Or Jedi. I keep calling it Fallen Jedi Order. It's Jedi Fallen Order. That's the only one I know of. As I mentioned before, this particular guy is the same voice actor who did the Joker-esque character from the Gotham TV show. He's the same guy. So he does the voiceover, and I think he does the motion capture for the game. So I thought he looked good. I thought he looked pretty cool. It was the figures I went in there going for was him, and technically him. Was these 3 figures right here? I knew going in I wanted these 3 guys right here. Oh, Slim. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. The Slim from the Killer Clowns. Now I know what you're talking about. Yep, I saw the Killer Clown one, which was a New York Comic Con exclusive. I saw pictures of that. I don't know if they've released other ones for the Killer Clowns yet, or this is the first release for them. Because I think there was 4 clowns in the original Killer Clown movie. I think, but I could be wrong there. I think, but I could be off. It'd be kind of cool if you had them, because I know they had the cotton candy guns. That would be very cool if you had like one that shot out a little bit of cotton candy. That would look very very cool. Or have like one of the victims hanging from cotton candy as like an add-on piece. That would be very very cool. Or they could even do a movie moment as well if they wanted to. But that's about it, guys. I want to thank everyone who came into the stream tonight. Again, I wanted to showcase off the stuff I picked up for New York Comic Con and Triple Force Friday. I want to thank everybody who stopped by and had a little bit of time with me for this stream. Remember to click that like button. Always click subscribe. I'm going to be ending the stream tonight, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Take care, guys. Night, night, and bye-bye.